What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday evening. I got a little show planned for today. Big shout out to Quick Trip, sponsoring the show. All right, so it is the Matt Ramage Show presented by Quick Trip. All right, I got some new logos coming out because my guy Tyler hooked me up. Very excited. Maybe a new podcast art. The whole deal. We're making things a little bit better here. Things are looking up. All right, people. All right, but big, huge macaroni and cheese family size shout out to Quick Trip for sponsoring the show. So everybody tomorrow, wake up early. We got a big game coming up here. And head on over to Quick Trip. Get your glazers. Get all the things. Get your beer. Get you all set up for game day. That's what I'll be doing up early. I'm not even drinking tonight, people. I'm not drinking tonight because I want to be prepared for tomorrow, all right? I don't want to be all sluggish. I don't want to be half out of it because I'm all hungover. I did that today, all right? I don't need to do it tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be ready. I'm going to get up early, go over to Quick Trip. I'm going to get me probably a French vanilla cappuccino. They got these. It's like you can't get them anywhere. I know you can get them everywhere else, but the ones at Quick Trip for some reason are just better. I've tried everywhere. I don't like that stuff usually, but Quick Trips I do. Anyway, so go get yourself some glazers, people. What's going on? Let's check out the comments. I got Aaron Nagler joining me here in about 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. And but let's talk a little bit, people. What is up with you? What do you guys think about this banner I got here? Tyler Herrick, Cheesehead TV's own, hooked me up. Didn't even ask. He just said, boom, there you go, bud. Your graphics suck. And now they'll be a little bit better. But, yeah, dude. You know what I don't, Nagler's going to be joining me here in a few. So I want to talk to him about Ted Thompson a little bit. Because, what's up, Alex? I want to talk to him about Ted Thompson. I saw him tweeting about it. I saw a lot of people tweeting about it. And, I think, dude, Ted Thompson deserves way more respect. Not just because he passed, but even before that. Obviously, there was, at the end of his deal, whatever, it is what it is. But I want to hear Nagler's thoughts about it. I saw him tweeting, so I want to ask him about that. And then, obviously, this huge Bucks game, bro. This game, dude, I said this on Instagram, and people were getting mad at me about it, because I said, I've never been more excited about a game before. Probably not true. I've been excited a lot of times about a game, but this one just feels different. There's with the revenge type thing to it. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, the whole. This season just feels special to me. I feel like this is the year, and I've felt that before, but not really truly. Last year, nobody really felt that. We were hopefully it'd be nice, but that team was just a different team on both sides. I think this is destiny, people. Do you believe in destiny? I do. Go Pack, go. But before Aaron Nagler jumps on, I want to talk to you about something real quick, and then we're gonna talk about all the things. I'm working with Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy. I've never been a prop bet kind of person. I've never really did those things, but I was checking it out today, and it's actually pretty cool. You can pick your players, and on prop bets Aaron Rodgers, they have 23.5 completions for tomorrow, over or under. And dude, I was over, dude. Aaron Rodgers he's gonna be throwing it around, people. All right, so go to my Instagram or my Facebook. I have the links all over it, thrivefantasy.com. But if you use promo code Matt, I think they match up to the $50. So check that out. All right, go to my Instagram is the easiest place. I got the link in my bio. Oh, Aaron Nagler's here. I'm just rambling on. But what is up, my man?
Well, what's going on? I figured I'd hop on a little early. I know you said 45. Look at you. Try the headphones, buddy. How you doing?
Dude, I'm good, man. Hey, and this time I gave you the right link.
Hey, baby steps, man. Baby steps, but you got that sweet Quick Trip money now, so you can throw out whatever links you want. You got links for days.
I got links for days. No, and I got some graphics. Your guy Tyler hooked me up.
I saw that. Those are sweet. Look at, man, you're all good. You don't get too polished, man. What we love is the true Matt experience, man. You get too polished, and I'm not going to recognize you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was actually thinking that. I was like, if it starts looking professional, people are going to expect to know what the hell I'm talking about.
Can't have that. No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, but I want to say shout out to Tyler because I didn't ask. He just texted me because we've been talking a lot lately. I had him on my show twice.
He's a proactive dude, man. He sees something, he goes and does it. I like
I was saying that. I was like, I think because he was on my show twice, and he was like, "This is trash. I have to do something about this."
Exactly. Like, I can't appear on this program again if these graphics are going to be this bad. That was basically the thought process in his head.
Yeah, he's like, it represents me. People are gonna start thinking that maybe I had something to do with this.
Well, now you see, people would have, except you just ruined the secret, man. You gotta leave a little mystery for the viewer. You gotta let them wonder, like, did Matt do that? That looks really good. Like, see, and they get talking, they get thinking about you. You gotta leave a little mystery for the people.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would think I did it. They've seen like my Photoshops when I try doing memes.
That's a fair point. Very good point. Very good point.
I always make myself skinnier if it's me. I take some cheeks off.
Nice. Yep.
Anyways, we'll get on to some football stuff. All right, we got a lot of people joining in here. Aaron Nagler, everyone's excited to see you. With Joey the Jaguar.
What's up, Joey? How you doing, buddy?
But
good to see you.
To start off the show, it's kind of like not the most exciting, not a happy thing. But I wanted to ask you, with the passing of Ted Thompson, like the position that you're in, like you talked to a lot of these guys. Have you had times like where you had conversations with them?
Yeah, I mean, very few and far between. Definitely talked to Ted a few times. I just ran into him by total happenstance at Lambeau one time, and had a lovely back and forth. And I would see him in the press box on the road when I was on the beat. Just a lovely man. I can't really add anything that you haven't heard 100 times from everybody around, both the internet, the team, everyone who knew the man. Everybody, it's not a secret. I was a monster Ted fan. I love the man. And I took a lot of grief for that at times, and I didn't care because I loved him so much. I loved his dedication to the team. I loved how much being in charge of the Packers meant to him. And I think we see this a lot with guys who, especially towards the end, like Mike Sherman towards the end of his tenure in Green Bay, people were ready to run him out of town. But I always had a soft spot for Mike Sherman as well, because he loved being the coach of the Green Bay Packers. Now, he wasn't a very good general manager, but Ted had that same thing. Ted loved being the general manager of the Green Bay Packers. Love is the word I am using here, and underscoring. And I just have a general affinity for those kind of folks. And, for as little as he did publicly, it's become very apparent, I think, hopefully, for most people around the state, the world, what have you, in kind of this 24-hour, 48-hour period since his passing, seeing all of the different kind of tributes, the words that people have spoke, written, whatever, just praising the man way beyond football. He was a great human, touched a lot of people's lives, made a lot of people's lives better, both on and off the football field. And what more can you ask for from a life? And salute to Ted.
Yeah, I think it's very well said, because like you touched on that about guys who love being in Green Bay, love doing their job, and I think McCarthy. He made a little. I think it was written. I'm not sure how he did, but I read it anyways.
Right.
And he was saying about how he, the history of Green Bay and all that, and you've seen that through McCarthy, because he mentioned it a lot. That's why I always respected McCarthy. Like when he left his last day, he made a little video Lambeau Field.
That was great, man. That was a gut punch. That last time walking out to Lambeau as the coach, and that was a little bit of a gut punch. Mike is definitely one of those guys who recognizes and appreciates the special nature of being a Green Bay Packer and what that means. Always, like I said, always got love for those people.
Oh yeah, and so do I. Like I always have love, because it's like coaching in Green Bay or being the GM in Green Bay or whatever. However, if you're the janitor, if you're the equipment people or whatever.
I mean, dead serious, man. I know there's a woman who works near around the dock area. Like when you go, you can go two ways, but usually I go through the dock area to get to the press conferences, because they're right. The media auditorium's right there. There's a woman there who's been there forever. I don't know her name, but she has got that shit down as far as like things coming in and out, forklifts coming here and there, big, huge shipments of things. And she is just like clockwork. And it's like, she takes such pride in her job, and she's been doing it forever. You just see that shine through. And like you're saying, like from the top, from Mark Murphy all the way down to, whoever on the staff, everyone in that building seems to. Now, you can't really know every single person, but it sure seems like everybody who comes in that building just absolutely beams with pride. And I kind of love that.
Yeah, because I don't think you have that in every franchise. I'm sure a lot of
No, you do not.
But like and no one in the Jaguars is like, man, I just love the history here.
I love that second year we went to the AFC Championship game and got killed. That was awesome.
Yeah, but
those are Jaguars people.
Big props to Ted Thompson, all that he did. And one last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on to happier things, is just the balls that this dude had. Because with the whole Brett Favre,
it can't
Aaron
be forgotten,
Rodgers,
man. You see,
dude.
and thank you for saying that, because so many people, especially younger people, I think, seem to really dismiss that as, oh, Rodgers fell into his lap, he got lucky. Look, man, Ted did the work. Ted went back and rewatched Aaron's film that, like, leading up to the draft that week, because he thought maybe there was a possibility that he might fall. And he did the work. And I remember he we've heard Brian talk about it. We've heard Andrew Brandt talk about it. This idea that, oh, it was this easy selection. Brett Favre was still there. And yes, I know Brett had been talking about retirement, but he still had a number of years on his contract. He wasn't going anywhere. And this idea that it was so easy to make that call is absolutely ridiculous. Ted had balls the size of church bells to make that call, man. That was stone cold Ted Thompson.
If that was wrong, and not even just the drafting part.
Oh, if he gets it wrong, that's his job.
Yeah,
it's like, and no, like everyone's riding high right now because obviously the Packers have been to two NFC Championship games. Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind. But let me tell you this. I'll tell you this. If Brian Gutekunst got Jordan Love wrong, there's a good chance that's his job. And that's down the line. We don't want to talk about it or think about it. But that's probably the case.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. And not even the fact, like I was saying, of the draft, because the pick for Rodgers was ballsy. But then when it all came down and it was like almost like a shootout, it was like Favre wanted to come back and all that happened. Right. And they stuck with their guns.
That summer was insane, man.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and then sticking to the guns. That's the other thing. Like, how many people would have made the pick, then had Favre waffle, do his Favre thing, and then gone, okay, Brett, you can come back.
Yeah, because I don't think people realize, I think people our age do, but like Favre, I've never seen an athlete be more loved by a community than Favre was.
No doubt.
At his peak.
Right.
Like Favre was like the most loved person. Like, I don't know. But anyway,
he was a rock star, man. He was an absolute rock star. And for Ted to turn around and then say, no, we've made a commitment to Aaron, when Aaron has played like 10 snaps at that point, that Thursday night game, it was the one game where he looked kind of decent. For him to make that move, speaks volumes about him, Mike McCarthy, etc. But yeah, you talk about balls. Ted had him, no doubt.
Humongous. Anyways, we'll move on to happier things now. I just wanted to talk about that.
Hey, man, I always got to give Ted. I'm always up for a Ted shout out. Always.
Yeah. But, so the Packers beat up the Rams. I want to say beat up, but I think, that offense.
They did. They bloodied their noses. They ran the ball right at them. I loved that. I was worried that they were going to try and get all pass happy against them, but man, they ran the ball and I loved it.
Yeah, I actually watched that game again today. I usually don't do that because I'm not a professional like you guys where I watch the game over. It just happened to be
do it to study it. You can just watch it to enjoy it.
That's what I did. It was on NFL Network. I was like, I'll watch it again. And it's funny when I watch a game, even at the second time, it could be like a 10-year-old game.
Right.
I still cheer and get mad. Overthrown. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And my son's looking at me like, dude, we know what happened. But
it's funny. It's funny you say there goes my light. I know it's funny you say the overthrow thing because Aaron was kind of like a little off early in that game. And it kind of struck me again watching it the other day. He was a little high, a little behind guys, etc. It reminded me of Favre a little bit. I remember back in 95, 96, Favre always had to take that first hit. He was always throwing high, was always amped up. And then he'd take that first lick, and then he'd be like, all right, now I'm dialed in.
Yeah,
and then he'd just start firing lasers.
And that was well-known thing, too, because the announcers used to talk about
Madden used to joke, don't hit Favre, don't hit him. Just let him throw wild. Don't hit him. Because once you hit him, he's dialed in.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember my uncles used to be saying, just hit him. But yeah, so I talked a lot of trash about the Rams last year. I was very confident. A lot of people thought way overconfident. But
Matt, no, never.
But the thing is, I don't try to be that cocky. I just get comments and I get mad. So then sometimes I start it's kind of like when you have a real tough friend and then someone's drunk in a bar and he'll kick your ass.
Right.
But it's kind of the same thing. I was like, they're gonna destroy them. This week I'm not as cocky, but I'm confident. I mean, I've been making posts.
I am too. Absolutely.
I think
I'm very confident.
I think anybody who watched that Bucs Saints game should be confident, unless you're a Bucs fan.
No doubt. I mean, 100%. I mean, look, everybody on the Bucs side wants to point to Week 6 for good reason. I get it. Well, of course, I would too. But you don't have to go much further and look at the Saints whooping up on the Bucs last time they faced, and then fast forward to this playoff game to know how little that means. I mean, these are two very different teams at this point, and the Packers are playing at a much higher level than they were back in October. So, I mean, I don't think that last meeting means much. I think it does kind of set the precedence for how the Bucs want to play. They want to pressure and they want to get after Rodgers. There's no doubt about it. That's why I hope, again, we see a lot of the running game.
Yeah, that's what I said. The only thing that matters with that game is the team's watching film. Obviously, the Bucs are going to be like, let's do that again.
I think we should go with that again, Coach. All right, good idea. Yeah, totally.
But, yeah, like the Saints swept the Bucs. The Saints beat up on the Bucs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No week 6 of any season
anything.
ever matters in a playoff. I don't care who the teams are. Totally different. Like Rodgers mentioned on the Pat McAfee show. I'm sure other places too. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think that I think this defense is the Packers defense. I think is the thing that people aren't talking about enough. I think that obviously it's not just me. Everyone's saying it.
I will say it's
good.
The defense they are, and the defense is always going to be the under. Aaron Rodgers is in town, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how good they are. They could be like a top 5 defense, and it'd still be all about Aaron Rodgers. And that's not that's just the way it is. And he's such a superstar. He's played an insane level. I mean, he's going to win his 3rd MVP. But I'm with you. I think the defensive side of the ball is what really has to rise to the occasion here, because at least you saw on offense last time around, you saw they could move the ball. Then it all kind of snowballed to hell. But I can see a path to like success, so to speak, on offense. On defense, Tom Brady really played with them last time. Like, really did a good job of getting guys like looking pre-snap at what the call was from the Packers and going, oh, okay, bring this tight end in, have him run a slant or have him run a crosser, whatever, and got him into the perfect call almost nearly every time and just took advantage of Pettin. So to me, that is the big kind of question mark in this game is like, can Pettin get maybe not as simple as disguise, because you can't disguise against Brady straight up. He's seen everything. He knows everything. But guys got to win up front, and they got to get pressure on him. We know that. How many different ways and how many different looks is Pettin going to give him? That, to me, is the big question, because back in Pettin's time with the Jets, Pettin had a number of really good games against Brady, including a really big playoff victory for the Jets, where he did a really good job of mixing coverages, kind of making Brady kind of second guess what he saw. Now, I don't think you can get that with 43-year-old Tom Brady. He's seen everything, but at least make him work for it. Last time around, he barely had to work.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same thing. This defense early on, to me, it doesn't even resemble. So many guys are stepping up.
Very much so.
Just huge. And but like I want to talk about that Devontae touchdown from last week, because I forgot to mention that. But
it's so beautiful,
dude. It was like art. Like, I'm not like obviously a film guy or whatever, but I watched it again today, and obviously I saw the clips all week. But I was just like, This is so beautiful. Like, nobody could stop that. Like, I don't think. I mean,
it's real. It's real tough, and it's funny because so many people talk about the Devontae motion, which is obviously a huge component of it, going right to left. You see that Ramsey's got him. You saw afterwards Ramsey being upset. I would suspect that he thought the guy was going to motion out with Devontae and they would switch. But I'm of the mind it doesn't probably matter for how fast Rodgers gets the ball out of his hands. I mean, that's one of the faster throws I've ever seen Aaron make, where it was so predetermined to the point where, like, he got the ball and he's already moving as soon as he receives the snap to make the throw. I mean, there was no hesitation. There was no pause. I don't think any defensive back was getting in the way of that one. So I just thought it was great design and great execution all around.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah. You couldn't even get that ball out that fast in Madden.
No way. Hell, I'd press the button, it would stick or something. It'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, that was a play of genius. So do you think that this week, because obviously that was like a design thing, I'm assuming. Obviously it was designed.
Very much so. Matt said as much, so that was something they drew up for that game specifically.
So do you see them doing? Is that Bucs defense scary enough where they're gonna design some stuff up like that?
Well, I don't. It's tough because the one kind of play anybody who's watched me on Packers Daily this week knows what's coming here. The one thing I would like them to do early, talking about like a specific type of play that I would like them to run. And I don't know if this is going to be in their wheelhouse. I don't know if this is the route they want to go. But you remember Jamel Dean had that great pick six for the Bucks that last time around. It's a kind of a poor throw from Aaron. He's fallen from his back foot, puts it a little far inside. But it's a great read. It's a great break on the ball. You can't take it away from him. But if you'll remember, after that play in the Bucs season, like so many teams took advantage of his aggressiveness where they would like give him a pump and go, give him a little shoulder shimmy, etc. I mean, hell, Daniel Jones got him on it on that Thursday night game. Like teams just totally took advantage of him. Now, it's been a while. He seems to have kind of righted the ship, so to speak, in this last month or so. But I don't think teams have really tested him that much lately. I would absolutely love it if in the first two drives, they run Devontae in and out, have Rodgers give him one of those shoulder things, and then have Devontae go, run a sluggo, run the out and up, and just burn the hell out of him. Let him know we're coming after you. Because, after that game, he was talking about how he saw their tendency on film, and Devontae was very dubious about that. So I would just love them to go right at him. I think that would be great.
Yeah. I think that defense is very beatable because they're the most up and down team that, that.
Yeah, I mean they're talented. They're really. I mean,
yeah, they're good.
They're not here by mistake, right? They're not a fluke. There's no doubt about it. They are incredibly talented. And to me, I mean, I talk about giving out and ups and sluggos all day, but that's one play. Like for the most part, man, with their team speed, you want to run at this team. And I know they ended the year as the number one ranked run defense, but you look at the actual tape and the actual play over the last month or so, including the Saints game. Early in that game, the Saints could run the ball. The Packers can run the ball on this team. I know Vita Vea is back, etc. I get it. Run the ball. Run the ball early and often, like you did against the Rams. That will open up everything else. You got to stay ahead of the sticks. The worst place to live tomorrow for the Packers is in 3rd and 6+, because that's where Todd Bowles really goes to town, and that's where the Packers had lots of trouble last time around.
Yeah, I think running the ball is key, and the backs obviously the Packers have. I was talking to. Do you see the running backs getting a lot of receptions? Because I think I was listening to someone's podcast and they were talking about that. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about the Bucs, but someone was saying that they can. Like screens work for them. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're aggressive, right? And the guys love to fly. I mean, they did a great job last time around of like inside out pursuit, etc. And sometimes you can take advantage of guys that way. The Packers tried early in that game last time around to get Jones on a wide receiver screen. I think a traditional halfback screen would be a really good tool to put in your toolbox, especially early in this game. Get guys trying to get upfield to get Aaron Rodgers and then run a screen pass on them. It's good in the sense of like, yes, you want to get them flying up and then take advantage of that. But a lot of times these guys are so good, so fast. This Bucs team across the board, whether you're talking about the linebackers who are exceptional, whether you're talking about the guys in the front, you're talking about JPP, etc. They're all fast. They're all athletic. So maybe you draw up a screen and it looks like it's going to work, and then somebody catches you from behind. I do think it's a tool for your toolbox, but it's not something you can lean on specifically.
All right, yeah. This is a good question. I don't know. The running backs. I know. I was listening to people this week because I'm not like a real film guy. I could never game plan a game. I'm good at watching. But
you could game plan. You played Madden?
I did. I actually made my own. I made my own playbook one time. It took me like
I did that
half a night.
Yeah, I never want to do that again, dude. I used to do. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd. I used to script my first 15 plays when my friends and I would get together and we have like little Madden afternoons or whatever. We would like, I'm going to kick your ass. I literally drew up my first 15 plays like I was Bill Walsh. I was such a nerd.
Dude, that's dedication.
I just nerd is what it is, but I love football and I love Madden, so I can't help it.
One nerdy thing I did, me and my brother used to play Tecmo Bowl, and they didn't have franchise mode and all these things.
Right.
So
Tecmo Bowl was just go. Just go.
So we would write it down and we would make our own season, and we'd
love
write down
that.
the
That's
stats,
awesome.
and we'd have a
Hell
notebook
yeah.
full of it.
Hey, I wanted to say, I'm sorry, I missed the name, but whoever was asking about 2 running back backfield specifically, yeah, I think we'll see some of that. We saw some of it, last week. We saw more AJ Dillon in that game than I was expecting early on. The 3 running back kind of monster that they unleashed last week. I hope they have more of that. I love when they put Jones and Dillon in the backfield together, and then they motion Jones out. There's so many different things that could be going on at that point. Like if you're a defensive player and you look at all of a sudden Aaron Jones is running out, but then he could be handing it to AJ Dillon. Oh, but he could be throwing it to Aaron Jones. Like that gets your head going. So yeah, I hope we see some of that. I do think Matt LaFleur tends to put that in early. That seems to be some of their scripted stuff early in gameplay, but he always seems to kind of forget about it once the game gets going, But I love it. I love that idea, and I think we will see that early tomorrow.
All right, here's a good question I'm seeing here. First of all, before this question, is AJ Dillon good? I know that he had a little injury. That's why people were.
I mean, he's not listed on the injury report as far as any designation, like probable, questionable, etc. I know he was limited in practice all week, but the fact that he's not listed at all on the final injury report tells you he's good to go. So I expect we'll see him tomorrow.
So this is a good one. I'll get to some questions before, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Good,
with the kick returns and because the special teams, obviously, if you're gonna pick one spot that.
Oh man. Well, here's the comforting thought though. As bad as the Packers special teams have been all year, the Bucs might be worse.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's like the battle of the idiots on special teams. But I mean, who should return kicks and punts? I mean, I'm of 2 minds. I love this idea that they signed Tremont and he's going to go back there and return punts. But let's not forget, I mean, he had a horrible one against the Bears last year when he got basically clobbered. But it should have been a fumble, etc. I love Tremont. I love that he's back. I'm not sold that that's why they brought him in. I think he's more of a depth signing, break glass in case of emergency kind of thing. I tend to think Tavon will probably still be back there. Now maybe they send Tremont back there and tell him just fair catch everything, just be competent. My running gag on the radio this week has been I just want competence on special teams. I don't want big plays. Don't try to make something happen. Just be competent. That's all. If you just give us competence, they'll probably win. So, and then as far as kickoff returns, man, they can't find someone to save their life. It's crazy. Give me Jamal Williams back there. I want Jamal back there. Because if they do kick it short, I want someone who's A, used to handling the football, and B, used to trucking through guys. Because you've seen Malik Taylor, he's not up to it. He's not up to that challenge. That is not his game. I like Malik. I think he's a good developmental guy at the wide receiver spot, but man, return is not his thing. Give me Jamal back there because Jamal won't take no shit from nobody. He's going to go back there. He's going to catch the ball, and if someone tries to hit, he's just going to give what he gets. That to me, that's fine. Again, just get competent. I just want to catch the ball, run, fall down. Don't kill us with special teams.
Like back in the day, I think it was Najee Davenport. I mentioned him the other day.
Man, love me some Najee Davenport. He was a good returner, actually. Man, could you imagine being on kick coverage and seeing Najee Davenport flying off the line, coming at you? I mean, you'd have to make some real business decisions trying to tackle him on kick return.
That is one job on either side that I would not be if I was ever athletic enough to play football.
Dude, I don't know how any sane human does that. In the NFL, I got to think everyone on those special teams units they got a screw loose somewhere. I remember being petrified to play special teams at Pop Warner. I can't imagine playing at the NFL. Are you kidding me?
Let's run as fast as we can each other.
No. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, so do you have any have you released your score prediction yet? I know that obviously you have your own.
I never release a score prediction. No, I'm just kidding. I think
some people are very I do that.
I know. I used to, but Matt, let me tell you something, Matt. I used to be very precious about it. I used to be very I don't give my score prediction until just the night before the game or the morning of the game. But here's what I've learned over the years. it doesn't matter, dude. No one gives a shit. Like, I could say the Packers win 27-13. And if they win 27-13, exactly 0 people are going to go back and go, "Oh, Aaron, you got it right." And if anyone does, they're a total nerd and they need to get a life. You know what I mean? Like, no one cares. Everybody's got a prediction. Like, you look at the NFL Network or ESPN and everybody's picking games and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no one cares. I'll tell you who, the one audience I care about is people who love our site, like Cheesehead TV. Like, the people who come to Cheesehead TV and are like, it reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to sit and watch. Then CBS had the NFC when you and I were growing up, right?
Yeah.
And the local CBS affiliate had this. It was Bill Jarts, who is still around. Would go around literally with a camera crew, or maybe just a camera, to everybody's cubicles in the newsroom and ask for their predictions for the game. So that's what we do at Cheesehead TV. We kind of get everybody who works with us to give their predictions for the game. That I care about. Like, I love the community that we've built. But, like, you know, the NFL Network, ESPN, all these yahoos on the internet who all have their quote unquote professional opinions. I don't care about that. Like, who cares? So to me, I do think the Packers win the game. I don't know. It could be a blowout. It could be a close one. I tend to think it'll probably be a little closer than maybe we would like it to be. But I think the Packers win. I think coming into Lambeau, the weather the way it's going to be. Oh, just think about Tom Brady landing in Appleton, Wisconsin today. God, that's great. I love it. You know, Giselle's going to be probably at Lodge Kohler tonight, ready to go over to Lambeau tomorrow and sit in a box and do whatever. And man, I can't wait to watch them lose. It's going to be great.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing, too, because, like, obviously this weather's been a lot of talk. I see people saying that it's going to be 12 degrees, and I was like, it's not.
I know. Dude, it's so funny. Isn't it great how, like, throughout the week it's gotten there's a couple of, like, Green Bay meteorologists and weather people that I trust, that I will pay attention to. Everyone else I just ignore. Like, but everybody in the national media is like praying for this, like, awful snow weather game. And it's like all week long, the conditions in Green Bay for game day have gotten worse and worse and worse. Now, I do recognize that there is supposed to be a front coming through tonight. It is going to be supposedly snowing early tomorrow. Most likely it's over by kickoff, but it might still continue at the start of the game. But it's going to taper off and it's going to stop by at least halftime. But they've made it out to be like, you remember the snow game against the Buccaneers back in the 80s when like they had to bring out the snowplow almost between every series just to get the lines? Like, that's what the national media has made this out to be. Like, it's going to be this horrible weather that you can't, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be terrible. Like, no, they're going to be fine. It's going to be cold, and that's going to be fun.
But the thing with the cold is, like, people are like, well, Brady's used to playing in cold. But, like, dude, I get cold. I live in this, right? And if you're outside for you know,
he's been living in Tampa for like 9 months, dude. Come on. He's going to be freezing his ass off. We all know this. Like, yes, he's played in the cold. There's no doubt about it. But he's been practicing and playing in 80-degree weather for like 6 months. Like, it's going to hit him. It's going to hit all of them. And that's not to say that that's why the Packers will win. But it is a decided advantage for the team that has been outside all week in those elements. Yeah,
because, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I think the one perk he'll have is he knows how to stay warm because he's done it in the past. So he'll know, like, all right, I got to do this, I got to do that.
Well, he knows what works for him, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like we all have our things. We all have our, they're not even superstitions, but the things that we, like, know work for us. Like, for me, I got to have the toe warmers. I got to put the hand warmers in my boots, you know, with the long socks. And then I got to have a really nice warm hat. I do those two things. That's all I got to do, and I'm fine. But, you know, some people want to like the scarf and the long johns and all the things, and that's great if that works for you. And you're right. He'll know what works for him.
Yeah, but I can't wait to see that one idiot that comes out with no sleeves on Johnny Badass.
I'm all in, man. I'm all in. All I know is I'm just hoping for a shot of Corey Banke in the crowd without his shirt on. That's what this occasion calls for. Corey, I know you're watching, so I'm going to tell you right now. Remember back in 2007 when you were there, you were freezing your ass off, and the Packers lost in overtime? You know why they lost? Because you didn't take your shirt off.
So there it is.
I didn't want to say it, but I had to say it because I want the Packers to win tomorrow.
So everyone probably should tweet Corey Banky.
I'm not saying. Sure. I'm just saying. This is for the good of the team, Banky.
Yeah, you have to do your part.
Put your shirt off, man. You know what? Banky and Kyle Cousineau, they both need to take their shirts off. That's what needs to happen.
If you're going to the game, you have a responsibility. It's not just buy your ticket.
All of us sitting inside, watching on television, very warm, drinking beers that we can actually, taste. You have a responsibility to us. We are here to watch the Packers win, and you are part of that story now. So take your shirt off, Banky. That's all I'm saying.
Take your damn shirt off. But if you don't, then there's nothing I can do.
Anything could happen. I mean, that's the thing. If he doesn't take his shirt off, anything could happen. If he takes his shirt off, Packers win.
Yeah, and then Rodgers
this is science.
Rodgers will probably even mention it.
About how great. Did you see Banky's tweet earlier when he was talking about how he was trying to get people to offer up witticisms because Rodgers was complaining on McAfee's show how everyone just yells his name incessantly pregame. And because there are so few people there comparative to other regular games, he can hear everything. So now it's like he's challenged people to be witty in their yelling. So I'm praying that Corey comes up with something great.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. And that is so funny because just imagine a guy from the last game who was just yelling Rodgers.
Who's just yelling Aaron for an hour, and now Rodgers has totally crushed him. Rodgers just come out and said, "You fucking idiot."
I was thinking about that when I watched it. That guy's watching, and he's like,
"Come on, if someone stood there for an hour just yelling Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers didn't turn, he was probably blasted out of his mind and doesn't even remember it. So he's probably, whoever that guy was probably sitting at home going, yeah, oh, what an idiot about himself.
I almost went to this game. I'll tell you this story real quick.
Oh, yeah?
A guy I go into work. I'm tired. I'm kind of out of it.
No, is this the story where you turned down the ticket?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
so
Matt.
he's sitting on his phone, and he says, hey, Matt, want to go to the Packer game? And I basically said, go to hell. Because, I was like, I thought he's just being a smart ass. Right. Obviously I want to go to the Packer game. But he's not someone I talk football a lot with, or even really ever. He's a fishing guy. He's a good guy. But he's not someone who I know, I didn't know his family had
go into that game. Right,
yeah.
Right.
So then it didn't happen. And you want to know another funny thing is he didn't even get the tickets.
Oh, no.
He didn't. Okay, so I'm an idiot, but he's a bigger idiot because he didn't know if he could get someone else to go with him. He didn't want to get. Yes.
That's why he didn't get tickets?
That's why. It wasn't because.
He didn't want to go alone?
Yeah, because but he might still get to go because they have other season tickets in his family, and they might not be able to come because of snow or whatever.
Right.
So he might still go, and I wont. But I was like, dude,
but
you can get someone to go with you. You can, anybody.
Any human with a pulse, 60-mile radius from the Lambeau Field will go with you. Come on.
Yeah, everyone at work is kicking him. And then they're calling me out. They're calling me out saying,
well, you deserve to be called out because it's like, remember in Ghostbusters when the deity says, Zool says, "Are you a god?" And Ray says no, and then she shoots the lightning. And Winston says, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. If someone asks you if you want to go to the Packers game, you say yes, Matt.
Yeah. No, I learned my lesson, but yeah, it's funny because that worked. Look at the big Packer fan podcaster turns down tickets. He's not a real fan.
Oh, I will. Speaking of which, I will give Corey this grief. So when we were first starting the website, right? I used to talk all the time about how, I love going to the games, but I didn't get to a lot. At that point, we started in North Carolina. Now we live in New York, and I always wanted to go, but I never got to go a lot. And Corey would be in Green Bay a lot, or would go to the games. The 2010 season, he went to all the playoff games, and he went to Dallas. He went to all the games. But I was at Favre's last game at Lambeau when the Packers beat his ass as a Viking. I'm really proud of that. And after that, I remember I said something like, "Oh, I've never seen the Packers lose at Lambeau." Now that has changed since then because I was on the beat, so I was there
Yeah.
every time. But he was like, "Oh well, you just don't go to the games. Some people who don't go to the games aren't even serious about being fans. Like you know how Banky can be. He's all like judgmental about your fandom. And then he bought that house across from Lambeau, right? Last year, this is pre-COVID, mind you. Last year, living across from Lambeau Field, homeboy didn't even go to the games. Watched the games at home. His family's got season tickets, didn't go to the games. But I'm the softie because I don't want to go to the games or I'm not at the games. I see you, Banky. I see your implicit nature.
That's messed up.
Right?
He deserves to be called over that.
I think so. I think I'm only being fair here. I'm not telling tales out of school. These are only facts, you know.
Yeah, I like that. That deflects away from me a little bit.
Well, I'm just, you and Corey are kindred spirits in that regard. Is what I'm saying here.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went to 4 games last year. They went 4-0 in those games.
So clearly you're a good luck charm.
I thought that maybe they were gonna just give me.
Wait, I gotta ask about this sweatshirt you're wearing. It's
Wisconsin.
I get it. I mean, I see it. I get it. It's red, man.
I know.
It's red. I understand Wisconsin. I get the Badgers. I get it. It's a little close to Buccaneers colors there, buddy. Talking about calling people out.
Dude, it's just what I had on. I'm not even wearing socks. I'm barely wearing pants.
Story of my life, man. I hear you.
All right. I'm going to let you go so you can go on to do bigger and better things. Hey, this is my first time talking to you sober, so next time you might hey, have a beer, all right? No, I want to be prepared for tomorrow because sometimes I do these podcasts and I always I'm going to have a few before I do it because it's better to be loose a little bit. But then I don't stop and then I end up drinking.
No. I've been. We've all. Are you a Green Bay Packers podcaster? If you haven't been there, come on, we've all been there, man.
Dude, I remember the reason I started drinking. I used to not drink on my podcast. Tom Crabtree told me you got to have a few, and then I would just
loosen up.
I would get lit and he'd be like, yeah, not that much. So
that sounds like Corey. Earlier this year, we do watch parties every game. And at the start of the year, I was getting blasted. By fourth quarter, I'm just gone. And Corey's like, yeah, maybe it's time to start mixing in some water early in the game. So you're not incoherent by the fourth quarter.
People,
all right, sounds good.
People like to see me all hammered. People.
Hey, man, if you just own it, it's like, did you ever see the movie Dead Again? Robin Williams has a cameo in there, and he has this great part where he's talking about smoking, but he says someone's talking about quitting smoking or whatever. He's like, at one point in my life, I just decided, I understood. I made the decision. You're either a smoker or you're not a smoker. You're either a drinker or you're not a drinker. I'm a drinker.
Yeah,
got no problem with that.
Yeah, and that's what I do. People have asked me though, aren't you embarrassed sometimes when you get so drunk and this and that? I'm like, no. I mean, not like every day, people see me on here. It's because I'm doing a show. I'm not drunk every day. I have a wife. Like she wouldn't allow that. She's like, because every now and again, I'll get that. I'll grab a beer. She's like, oh, really? That's what we're doing? Okay. On Tuesday? Okay. And that's like her subtly saying, pump the brakes there, Tom.
But you know what? It's Saturday, baby.
Oh, it's
so
Saturday.
We're all on now.
Yeah, I went hard last night, so I'm taking it easy. But
you're so professional. Look at you with your quick trip, your soberness. What the hell, Matt? You got soft. Man.
I'm definitely going hard tomorrow.
I'm kidding. I'm totally.
No, but sometimes I'll drink so hard on the day before a game, and
I know, and then you wake up
sluggish,
and you're like, the whole morning is shot because you're just trying to get over the hangover, and then kickoff comes, and you're like, oh god, all right, and I get it. Totally
so I want to be ready. I got to get up. I'm gonna go to Quick Trip in the morning, get my gear, get my beer, get on my things.
Well done. Look at you, promotion in motion, baby. I love it.
You know,
love it.
All right, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to stop by, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey, man, it really means a lot. Like you're one of the few, man. Let me tell you, you and I and Corey, maybe 2-3 other people on this planet, I feel, are we get it, man. As far as enjoy it. It's about enjoyment. It's about escapist entertainment. Like so many people. And look, I love breaking down the film. I love knowing football. I love talking to the coach and the players and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we're here to be entertained. Be entertained, man. Why is it? It drives me nuts how people want to wallow in whatever misery about whatever didn't happen or whatever could have happened, etc. Man, enjoy. This is great. How many people, how many fan bases are at home watching this game with no rooting stake in it? Their team ain't a game away from the Super Bowl. Yours is, Packers fans. Own it. Love it. That's
Dude,
it. Matt, you're one of those guys, and that's why I love
that speech. No, because that's true. Like, dude, enjoy. Like, when people are like, "Oh, I can't," I get some people get nervous, and I respect that. Fan how you want to.
Totally get nervous. Yeah. I totally get that. Trust me. That
but like, you gotta, you gotta enjoy. That's why I talk shit, because people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't talk shit because this won't age well." I'm like, I don't care.
Because who cares? Like, so what? Oh no, is someone on the internet going to say something mean? I guess it must be Tuesday. Like, everybody's mean every day on the internet. Like, that the whole, it doesn't age well. Who cares?
I know. I think it's funny people will comment that. Because if the Packers ever lose a game, ever, like, during the season.
Oh, yeah. There's some fans that's their favorite time on the internet.
Yeah, they search me.
The Packers have lost. We're going to go back and we're going to look at what you said and how much you love the team and how much you said we were going to win, blah, blah, blah. Now you're the bad guy. No. That's the hollowness of your life, kid.
Yeah. Because the last time the Packers played the Bucs, I guaranteed victory, which I didn't do the whole year. That was the only game.
Okay, well, I will say that was pretty dumb, man. That was pretty out there, but I feel you.
I had Bucs fans come at me today and say, "Oh, I'm back because you guaranteed victory last time."
Yeah, of course.
And I said, "I'm gonna do it again. I guarantee you, the Packers are winning, baby."
Why not, man? Why would you not? I love it.
All right.
Awesome, man.
Thanks, everyone, tuning in. Go Pack, go. We'll see you next time. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time. That's today's
Very well done. Very well done.
We'll see you next time, people.
Thanks, Matt.
Go Pack, go.